This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
So this will be a brief meeting. We need to set the budget. That's one of the reasons. So the meeting will come to order. Jamie, you have attendance. You don't need to have a roll call for that, correct? So
Dan, can you speak a little bit closer to your microphone?
okay, can you hear me now?
That's weird.
Yeah,
Got really quiet.
As good as before.
Just a little tired. Let's have a motion to approve the minutes of January 19th.
So moved. Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Jamie, roll call, please.
Dan,
Yes.
Jessica. Yes. Joe.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Jay.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Scott, John, and Andy are all absent.
Okay, public speak. Mr. Prune, are you here to speak for anything or just watching? Rui?
I am a reporter with the reminder.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, and I don't know everybody's name in the meeting.
Jamie will, if you email Jamie, she'll tell you. Communications, Jamie, before I go to account balances. You have anything new?
No, I don't. Yeah, it's just the update on the agenda. Parks and Rec is not presenting today.
Okay.
So here's the account balances. Is everybody seeing these? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Okay. Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, but these are up to date, January 30th, right?
December 31st.
It says
And then there,
it says January 30th up here, so I know.
well, the fund balances are accurate as of December 31st.
Oh, yeah.
The estimated line shows the updates since then.
Okay, so bottom line is we have this much in the bank. You see my cursor here, 1,740,615. Is that correct? That's what's in the bank before the transfer that might happen when city council approves it. Correct?
Um,
I'm 1,040,000.
that includes returned funds that have not been returned yet. So,
Okay. So we up here at 1,719 then?
correct.
So these are the projects that are current. We've closed out the rental assistance program, so $20,000, almost 21 came back to us. And we've closed out the Mount Hayat North Trailhead. There was no money left over in that project. All the other projects have spent their money. I'm interested in some of these projects, which are from FY17. There's still a lot of money left in these, and I'm just curious why they're not closed out, Jamie. Do you know why?
So the following pages have brief descriptions on sort of the last updates that I've received on those projects.
All right, here.
So some of them were just on hold and various reasons. Some of them are moving forward and they're just older projects.
Well, it seems if there's something from 2006 and 2008 and there's $5,000 left, we ought to recover that funding. Who do I talk to about that? How do you deal with that?
John Mason, he's got that, and then the updates on that. There's going to be
okay.
signage on park benches, and then he was waiting on Mills projects and Ferry Street to wrap up before he used it, and the pandemic happened. So,
okay, I get you.
if you want to push him on it, you're welcome to.
Well,
Do we have any ability? Is there a statute of limitations on like?
We didn't start doing grant agreements until 2015 or something like that. So anything that's before that, there's no
way to claw it back.
No, they didn't. They were just money that was given to the departments, and they weren't given with any sort of restrictions or they have to be used by this amount of time.
So even a specific project they got the money appropriated for, they could say, they don't need it after all, use it for this.
I mean, they're not supposed to use it. I mean, it's in the Parks and Rec budget, or it's in the CPA account, and Parks and Rec has the ability to use that. So
What is that? For the Go ahead, Jess.
I was gonna say, the only thing we could do is we could go back and look at those applications and see what the original intent of them were. Like Lower Mill Pond Park, I presume that was for the amphitheater, maybe?
I think it was for the benches and the Vita course and the bandstand.
Yeah, so it had to do with the, so I guess it would be interesting to go back, I guess, for some of those older projects and find out what the original intent of the funds were to be used for.
See if they're done.
And see if those pieces are done. I guess that's my only recommendation, because if they're gonna start using it for stuff that's not within the original intent, then they should be coming back. That money should be returned and they should be coming back for a different project.
They can't just do that. I mean, even though we didn't have grant agreements, right? They can't just do that, can they?
Well, if you go back to the description on the next page, it says, it said that, I think John Mason had said that it was intended for park entrance signage and a few other items, and it'll be completed in 2017.
So he just hasn't gotten to it yet.
Construction for Ferry Street and MassWorks grant necessitated delay. And it's supposed to be installed after the project's complete. The MassWorks project is complete.
Right.
Okay.
So what, the dog park design, that $9,000, I think it was $9,000, specifically has to go for the design of the dog park and not anything else, like a fence or something like that?
Correct, and there's $650 remaining in that.
Oh, okay, I see it, all right.
And that
So
was
that-
recent. So we have grant agreements, which specifically make sure that they ask before they use it for something else.
Okay.
So it looks like there's really only 3 projects that apply before the grant agreement.
Yeah.
And you gotta stop scrolling. You're making us look sick. So it's Lower Mill Pond Park, the Manhan Rail Trail, and the Housing Authority. Is that right? And then the Echodale Orchard Restoration?
Yeah, and I believe those should have, the FY17 should both have
Grant agreements. Okay, so it's just those 2.
And the Housing Authority is slowly chipping away at that funds. They've done a number of, every couple months I get a reimbursement request for reasonable accommodation.
For Housing Authority.
For the Housing
Yeah.
Authority, so that one's still slowly being used.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see it here, the description. Okay.
Echodale Orchard, there was, I got an update last year about it.
Mhm.
So I try to update when I get the updates, but it's not,
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, next thing is if nobody has anything else on is the budget, we need to approve this. Jamie got the revenue figures, I guess, approved by Hadel, is that correct, Jamie?
yeah, I met with her soon after the January meeting, and she was able to confirm that the revenue estimates that I put in were accurate enough within the range that was acceptable. So she said that based off that, the budget looked fine to bring it back to CBA, but it's no different than what you saw in January. It's the same proposal, same budget.
can we blow it up a little bit more? Is that
I
possible?
was gonna
Yeah.
ask, can I? You can still see it when I do that? Is it too big?
No,
No,
it's fine.
Make it bigger or
a little bit if you can.
does that work?
Thank you. Yep, thank you.
This is where the square is the budgeted items that we're requesting for next year. And it's pretty much similar to before. Our total revenue is up a little bit here. But, and we are doing the 250 for Old Town Hall in an effort to either in an effort to either pay the bond or reduce the bond, whatever happens, whenever that happens. For phase 3, they're calling it. Anybody have any questions on this stuff?
Nope.
Jamie, you have anything else to add?
No, maybe I don't really, if there's more questions about it, I'm happy to.
No, we just wanted to wait until Hadel approved it, so I'll take a motion to approve the budget to send to the mayor.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none. Jamie?
All right, let's start at the end. Joe,
Yes.
Jay,
Aye,
Ken,
Yes.
Jess,
Aye.
Greg,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and Dan.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. So the town clock, I'm going to ask Jamie to remove it from the agenda because it has to come back to us with an appropriation request. And that'll come from the mayor's office because now the city owns the clock. It is not going to come from, it's going to come from, because it's our building. I mean, I'm sorry, it's city property. The mayor will submit that request whenever it's ready. All right.
Okay.
City space, there was a delay in getting you remember the phase 2 project we approved, 1.25 million with their match of 1.143 or something like that. That finally got to council today because there was a delay in, I guess, software that created a problem for accounting to make sure the money was properly accounted for. So that's going to council. That's all I have. Does anybody else have anything?
The hullabaloo that we talked about last meeting.
What'd you say?
I'm just trying to remember. Old Town Hall, wasn't there a big question about accounts and how much was actually in there? Did that get
Yeah,
resolved?
because
That's the problem, and it wasn't resolved for the last council meeting. It was resolved just recently. She had a problem with KBS software, which was not showing all of her end closing, where the 250 we budgeted was moved into the account, and the 255 that the city council approved, if you remember, we moved that in when we asked for the bond. But today it was sent to council. It's 1.25 million is in the Old Town Hall reserved. All we're asking is that be transferred to construction. So it's like an interdepartment transfer, inter, so that it's in their proper account so that it can be used. And City Space has to work with the city, granted the major agreements as well as with Mike Owens and purchasing. But they've already done this. Their phase 1 did the same thing. If you recall, we gave them something like 250. They put in 255 something for a $500,000 project for the infrastructure they did on phase 1. So there is a precedence and a track record of how that works with city, the melding of city funds and private funds.
Yeah, I guess my question really had to do with the bottom line number at the end of the day, because there was a question on what that number was. So there was if I recall, there was $250,000 missing that Hadel did not have in her accounts, but that has now been found.
Well, it wasn't missing. It was KBS that didn't show it.
Okay, well, it was missing in the accounting printouts.
It was in the ether someplace.
It was there. So there actually is 1.25 million then for them to use for construction.
yes.
Well, the city council has to approve it. It'll go to finance at the next meeting. But it finally got to the city council, so.
Okay.
Software is still being fixed,
Yeah,
but Hetzel went through it with pen and paper and confirmed
Okay.
that it should be there.
Okay,
So,
okay.
oh, really?
yeah.
We had to go back to the old school ledger book.
So she knows what it should be.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
confirmed what it should be.
Okay,
And then for whatever reason, the software is not
picking it up.
picking up. that.
Okay.
So just to confirm, our next meeting is March 23rd, and everybody here is able to make that meeting?
Yep.
Because we changed that meeting. That's like the 4th Thursday or something, but it's fine with me. So we're good on that. I have no other business, Jamie, we take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
All right, Joe,
Yes.
Jay,
Aye.
Ken,
Yes.
Jess,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Ben,
Yes.
And yes, it's have it.
John.
Well, thank you. It was a 15-minute meeting. I think you guys will appreciate that, I hope. So get you out before the snowstorm.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.